Decked out here as you're coming in, you're looking like a champion now.
Yeah, of course, right? I mean, a lot of the fighters are dressed up. I couldn't let them outdress me, so.
This is obviously the opportunity that you wanted for your last fight. You said the title shot was definitely what you had your sights set on next. Now that it's here, what do you make of this opportunity and kind of the rivalry that exists between the two?
You know, I was excited to coach Ultimate Fighter. Ever since I've been on the show, I thought I'd be a good coach and thought I'd want to do it. And so when the opportunity came, you know, it was a little bittersweet, you know, having to coach against alpha male. I mean, it's not something I really wanted to do. But on the other hand, it was like I get to really show the truth. You know, I get to speak my mind and have a lot of coverage on what really went down and show my true colors and have alpha male show theirs. So, you know, it was a little wishy-washy, but I was stoked to do it. And obviously the end is me fighting for the title. So there's no questioning it.
It's one thing to go in there and see coaches, you know, that you don't normally interact with and see. These are friends, or
yeah,
whether it be current or former friends.
Yeah.
Is that going to be a little bit tougher than maybe what past people had to deal with?
Yeah, I guess maybe a little bit. You know, you thought you made friendships for a lifetime, and they seem to turn pretty quick. You know, you're disappointed with certain people. Wasn't always close with everyone. You know, I wasn't ever like friends with Garbrandt. We weren't really that close. You know, but guys like Justin Buckles, their head coach, who's always in my corner, Danny Castillo, guys like that. You know, it really kind of you lose a lot of respect for how they're acting in the friendship you thought you had. You know. Yeah.
In the past, I know we've seen, like, definitely with Claudia and Joanna, the coaches were really chirping at it and set it to a kind of a different level. Do you anticipate that this season is probably going to be one of the worst, maybe in that aspect, where the chirping back and forth between the two of you?
Oh, I'm sure it's going to be very exciting. Absolutely.
Specifically with Justin, I remember before your recent fight, you said that he's one of your best friends.
Yeah.
So I know he's been very adamant that he has some video footage of you. And that's got to be tough. I mean, one of your best friends, that's it.
Yeah, man. I think that's my point exactly, is how disappointed I am in him, you know? Like, I thought we were closer friends than that. I mean, I was in his corner every fight. He was in my corner. You know, we had a friendship for like 6-7 years. So, yeah, I mean, it's a little hurtful, but, you know, he's showing his true colors. And with the whole video thing, I told him, I was like, put it out. You know, I mean, I don't really care. That's the whole point of training at a tough gym. For one, I don't think it ever happened. I think it's all made up. And two, if it did, it did. You know, I mean, it's practice. I mean, me, Justin, Cody, we all know what really happened in that practice room. We know who the better fighter is, and so really I could care less. I mean, practice is practice, you know. I mean, everyone's got their good days and bad days.
You've been in the show before as a cast member. You've been as a coach as well before, and now you work the main coach. How is the process, especially in this season, because they're having like a second chance to actually make it?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is my 5th time making an appearance on the show, you know, helping Uriah out, being a contestant, helping Joseph out. So I definitely got the lay of the land, which is nice. And even though the fighters have been here and done it already, you know, they really want to pay attention. They really respect what you have to teach, and that's awesome. You know, they're not coming in as know-it-alls. And so I found that to be awesome, and I enjoy this process. It's a lot of work, a lot more work than I thought it would be. But it's I think it's because I care so much. You know, I'm putting a lot into this.
TJ, when you were at Alpha Male, and I'm sure before and after, you've trained with so many great up-and-coming guys that are like tagged to be future stars. That being said, was there anything special about Cody when he first showed up and you saw him in the gym?
Yeah, man. I mean, he's a good athlete. You know, he's quick, good wrestler. You know, had some good boxing. I mean, a lot of guys come through to Alpha Male. I mean, it's a revolving door, and we have so many guys that were coming in and out of there, and a lot of good tough guys. You know, I mean, there's always going to be a next generation. I mean, he was tough, absolutely, you know.
So you said only you, Justin, maybe a couple other people know Cody. So tell us what you know.
What I know about him, or what I know about practice?
What you said what happened. You said only the 3 of you know what happened.
Oh, no, I mean, no, everyone at Alpha Male who's trained in practice knows what happened. I mean, we all know the truth. I mean, they can post a video of maybe whatever happened in a split second, but we all know how the majority of practices went down, and, you know, how I feel, and I know that I'm the better fighter, and that I was the one putting it on him the majority of the time. You know, like I said, everyone's got their days, but, you know, I'm by far the better fighter in that room. So I got the confidence going into it.
Will it feel good to prove to everyone else that what you feel about being the better fighter to get that chance now in July?
Yeah, I mean, I think the best is just getting my belt back. You know, I mean, but that's going to prove it. So absolutely, yeah. I mean, I guess it's a little added incentive a little bit, but there's always so much pressure. I mean, it's kind of like a generic answer. I feel like everyone always says it, but that is the biggest pressure, is me being the best in the world. You know, and to be doing that, Cody's got the belt right now. So.
Do you think in a way you helped him win the title, because fighting you, you know, you have so many similarities to Cruz that he was prepared by having worked with you in the gym so much that when he got in there, it wasn't such a foreign thing to him?
I mean, before I left Alpha Male, I was teaching most of the practices there. For that last year, I was teaching 3 days a week all the kickboxing classes and MMA practices. So I mean, I definitely have helped out, but I think with that fight, it was just Cody had a great night and Cruz did not look like himself. I think that's the worst I've seen Cruz fight. So, it's always that question: do you think is it Cody the one that made him look that bad, or is he just came out? I mean, he manned up and said he was 100%, but I wasn't very impressed with how he fought that night. So.
Have you talked to Justin or Danny since you guys started filming and maybe crossed paths?
Yeah. We've definitely talked. Even talked a little bit off camera as well too. So, yeah. I mean, we're gonna be around each other for 6 weeks. It's gonna be hard to ignore each other the entire time.
Do you feel like anything's been squashed? I mean, at least with Cody, you get to punch him. But with these guys, where does it sit?
I think it's gonna be a longer process with them as well. I mean, I think they're trying to hype themselves up. Justin's putting himself to the hype machine of being the best coach ever. And so he's gonna be behind his fighter and do what he needs to do. Maybe when this is all done and said, we'll see. But I've lost a lot of respect for those guys, man. They've shown their true colors through this whole thing, and so it's gonna be a tough one to forgive them.
Seeing them every day will probably bring a lot of memories back from the time we were in the gym. And,
Yeah.
Even in the season, right? Is there anything that you remember that is a good side though of like the whole story, or you just?
I think the good side is that being here and doing the show, I made the right choice. I did the right thing for myself. I mean, this show has been exhausting, not just because how much I'm coaching, but just dealing with Cody. Cody's he's a dumbass, and then the energy from Team Alpha Male is very exhausting as well. And so it's been, there's really immature, and I made the right choice, and I moved on in my life, and I'm happy for it. It was a tough thing when it went down and how it got blown up. I mean, fighters leave camps all the time, but for some reason this one wanted to be a big deal. But ultimately, I'm glad that I did it.
This is also something that helps you with the mental process to prepare for the fight.
What was that?
All that is happening is also something that helps you with the mental process for the fight.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think every day of training, every day of media, every way you handle yourself is mental for the fight. Not getting too involved in it, but enough to maybe push the buttons a little bit, but not to get too emotionally invested. To know that I'm doing the right things. I'm continue to be a martial artist with Dwayne and continuing to learn. And just know that you've made the right choices and that I've done nothing but put myself out there. I've kind of always told the truth and put myself out for everyone to see.
Who's still on their team? Do you have a positive relationship with anyone?
Yeah, I hang out with Chad Mendez all the time, Lance Palmer. I mean, I thought I was close with Danny when he was out training with me in Colorado. I mean, I was paying for the guy to do his camps out in Colorado with me. He was going back and forth, and he eventually was doing his whole camp out in Colorado with me. And then Uriah told me he couldn't do it, and so once Uriah told him he wasn't allowed to do it, he was still coming out and just hiding from photos. And it's just kind of crazy how instantly the script switches when more eyes are on him as being a coach. He's not trying to be a fighter anymore. If he was still fighting, I know where he'd be at.
How are you a better fighter now than when you held the title? How have you improved?
I think losing makes you hungry. Makes you fix some things that you've done, if it's mentally or if it's technical, and also learning from all the new coaches that I have. I was at a camp to where I was learning just from Dwayne. Other than that, we had fighters coaching fighters, and now I'm at a place to where I have so many coaches. I got a strictly wrestling coach, jiu-jitsu coach. I mean, they've all been around the game forever. So not only have I continued to learn from Dwayne and us both adapt, but I have a lot more coaches that are putting it into me and really growing my martial arts.
Is there any disappointment that you feel not going against Cruz to get that title back? Obviously, it's a fight you felt you won the first time, and now you don't get to face him and really redeem that loss. Is there any disappointment for you?
Yes and no. I mean, disappointment because I would like to redeem the loss, just like you said, but this is going to be a big hyped up fight. And after I win my belt back, I'll make Cruz beg me to get a shot back again. I mean, it'll be a better story in the long run, and maybe make a little bit more money off it.
What was it that you went back to the table to make adjustments in regards to? You mentioned that after you lost the belt, that you had fixed some things. What was it that you focused on?
I mean, a lot with knowing how well-rounded I am. Not just only being a kickboxer. Not just only trying to knock someone out, but beat them all around. And to mix everything up. Something that I think I kind of got away from it. I did a lot in the beginning of my career and through the middle when Dwayne got there, and then I got happy knocking everyone out. And so looking for the head and looking for the big punch and learning that there's more to it.
TJ, when you look at the Cruz fight, do you think you started almost behind on the scorecards, given, Cruz was coming back from that dramatic injury and the fact that if it's close, people almost might, subconsciously lean toward him because of what he overcame?
He definitely had the sympathy card in his favor, for sure. I mean, he came through. He did come through a lot, I mean, that was a lot to deal with, and for him to continue to push. I mean, and he fought great that night, I mean, there's some mistakes I made, but watching him back still, I still feel like I won 4 rounds to 1, and I feel like he did get a little bit of sympathy, yeah.
TJ, how much of the animosity with Alpha Male do you think is the guys harboring these ill emotions, or is it kind of Uriah being the figurehead and pushing these guys to dislike?
I feel like it's got to be Uriah because, I mean, Cody should have no involvement in this at all. I mean, he was coming in, I was on my way out for the most part. We weren't ever friends. It wasn't like I did anything to dishonor him or whatever. I think it's more Uriah pumping these guys up to continue to push this trash and builds his team, which is money in his pocket. I mean, every guy that fights for him pays him. So I think it's him being the mastermind behind this whole thing.
When you left, how many guys have you talked to that thought about leaving with you?
Cody was the first one. Quite a few, actually. I mean, Danny was going out there with me. Lance was going out there. Justin. I mean, a lot of the guys went out until Uriah started making us think about it. And then even after that, Cody had a long conversation with Leister Bowling, the head coach at Elevation Fight Team. I mean, they got a big, long text message about how Cody wants to come out and start training with actual coaches, not fighters. It'd be nice for him to start getting some sponsors and being out of the situation he was in. And there was a big, long thing. And then as soon as it got put into the media that I'm a bad guy for leaving, he instantly flipped the script and had Uriah in his ear. So, there's a lot more truth to everything that goes down that's put into the media.
How do you with all the tricky and provocations, and bullings that usually Cody do? How you do?
What was that? Sorry.
How you deal with that?
Deal with what?
With the trickies and provocations, and bullings that usually Cody do.
What? Sorry.
Provocations and bullying.
Yeah.
Oh, you just gotta I gotta stay cool, calm, and collected. I mean, really, he's just gonna make himself look like an ass. I mean, he's looking so hard for a fight. He goes out of his way to just kind of be a dick, really. I mean, he tries to act like I don't know. He has to choose what he's going to do. Either be a nice guy or be a complete jerk. And it's just like he's hot-headed. He's not smart enough to put some sentences together to try to tell you what you're doing. Rather, he'd just try to fight you. And it gets aggravating and annoying, but just kind of keep your cool and stay professional. I'm a professional athlete. I got hired to do this job as a coach, and I'm going to hold myself that way. Lead by example.
All right, one more question, guys. Last one. This whole thing is played out so publicly. You mentioned all the media talk about which side is right and all that stuff. But so now it's going to be on the show for the whole world to see. Like, how much do you think this show is going to be a judge? And do you care how you come across and who comes across as the good guy maybe in the show?
Well, I think that was one of my points I made, was that I was excited to actually do this because I could make my point. I could tell the truth, and that true colors will be revealed. I mean, how you handle yourself. I think it's gonna be a great thing.
Did you guys get physical though?
I'm gonna have to wait and see.
Thank you, guys.